Hi, we're here in the DUMBO neighborhood of Brooklyn near the offices of HowAboutWe, which is a service both for couples and for singles looking for activities to do with their significant other or, hopefully soon to be significant other. We actually recorded a segment with the HowAboutWe founders earlier this year. In the months since then, they were actually acquired by IAC. We thought that the segment we recorded really captured the flavor of what the company was, why they're in Brooklyn. And so, travel back with us to spring of 2014, meet the founders of HowAboutWe, and find out why they're built in Brooklyn.
So both Aaron and I, first of all, we grew up together. We went to the same elementary school, and through our 20s we were high school teachers.
I spent most of my 20s as an educator. I was teaching at a small charter school in Boston.
Our students were more and more leading their lives in a large part through the internet.
I was just inspired by the intense power of the internet to facilitate connections.
And began thinking about how the internet is transforming society, how it's transforming how we express ourselves.
Specifically, we created an online dating company because we wanted online dating to not be so much about being online. We wanted it to be about getting offline, about having real experiences, meeting new people in the real world, not just sort of endlessly poking and winking online.
Create a dating site about the actual dates that people want to go on.
It felt very fresh, it felt very timely, and we decided to just go for it.
The first few months we were working actually out of Aaron's house in a suburb outside of Boston. And then we moved to New York to launch the business.
The tech scene in New York was exploding at that time. What if there's a dating site where you just say the date you want to go on, connect and meet offline? People would say, how about we? We literally that day, I think, looked up HowAboutWe.com on GoDaddy, bought it, $9.99, and just went for it. And it was a risk. I don't think you really can get anywhere big unless you take really big risks.
Where did you find your first users?
The night we first launched, we were in a bar in Brooklyn, Union Hall, the place where you play bocce, and we were literally handing out hand-drawn flyers and doing man-on-the-street interviews.
What we found was that our users were more creative, more inspired than we ever could be ourselves in terms of what would make for an awesome date. How about we go see Shakespeare in the parking lot? Or how about we go try a dozen oysters and have a champagne toast?
How did you choose Brooklyn and DUMBO in particular?
We chose Brooklyn because it was the most creative place on earth in many ways, I think. It was a place where we knew we could attract great talent in design, which was very important for us, great talent in development, which was also extremely important for us.
It's really a community of makers, of designers, of engineers.
Brooklyn was really aligned with the ethos of our product. HowAboutWe is all about experiences, doing things, making stuff, being in the real world.
DUMBO, Williamsburg, neighborhood after neighborhood throughout Brooklyn is being revitalized and reinvented in some ways through the growing tech industry here. We came to DUMBO. We've seen the neighborhood grow tremendously since 2010. Masses of people coming off the subway every single morning when it used to be just a small number.
There are more restaurants, there are more people, there's more collaboration, there are more community experiences that support creativity. There is a feel of we're doing something important here. In many ways, we're building a piece of the internet here.
When we first moved in, we were the first company to move into this floor. Everyone's now trying to find extra office space somewhere in the building.
How do you think being in Brooklyn has sort of shaped the evolution of the company?
We all, I think, carry in a lot of ways the spirit of Brooklyn, the maker spirit, the creative spirit. That drives so much of what HowAboutWe is about.
We want people's work lives to reflect their values in all sorts of ways.
How many HowAboutWe dates have you been on?
Well, HowAboutWe has two core products. There's a dating site and a site for couples. I'm in a relationship right now and I'm using the couples product pretty actively, so we curate amazing local experiences in Brooklyn, in Manhattan.
What's your favorite spot in Brooklyn?
My favorite spot in Brooklyn is probably the Carousel down by the water. I eat lunch down there all the time. I often go on walking interviews and walk down by the Carousel. It's just gorgeous. It kind of represents the freedom and openness and expansiveness that I associate with this neighborhood and this city. It inspires me every time I'm there.
My favorite spot is Vinegar Hill House in DUMBO. It's a great restaurant.
we've spent so much energy trying to attract a great group of people to use the product. Now we have over 2 million people using the product, and I think that's getting to the place where you can sign up and you can find other people who are like you, who you're going to have a great time going on a date with. That's been by far the biggest challenge.